I really don't know how I wound up playing to the kid. Yeah, the memory isn't so. As I mentioned, a little blazed.
It's funny because Neil Brennan too. Do you know Neil Brennan?
I've met Neil Brennan.
Right. So I said that I mentioned that you were going to be on my podcast. He goes, yeah, I know him too. Like he got all cocky about it.
I went to the Comedy Store with him once, I think.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I met him, and then we went to the Comedy Store on like a double date. And then that was it. That was the extent of.
And you never saw him after that.
Yeah. I'm not great with keeping in touch with people.
Me
that's. I know.
Me either. You know that about me, right? I know that about
you.
Yeah.
I also DM'd you about the ping pong like a year ago.
Did I really?
I did. Yeah. When I first discovered the podcast, I DM'd you actually.
And did I respond to the DM?
No, there was no.
Yeah, because I don't know how to.
I'm like
To be fair, he doesn't know how DMs work.
I don't know how it works, Paul.
Yeah.
Paul, I would have fucking answered back. Yeah, 100% it was you.
That's nice.
Like, throw me some names if I would DM back. Just give me some names out there.
Bryce Halleck.
No. Give me some big names.
Okay. George Clooney.
No way. No way.
Chris Hemsworth.
Nah, I don't even know who that is. Right? But this guy, I would DM right back.
Paul Banks.
Yes, him.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, but
I know he's being really cocky about how he beat you. But the man needed a blood transfusion afterwards.
Describe that.
No, but also when you said you looked me in the eyes and you saw the defeat wash over me, I feel like you did kind of then bounce. I feel like we didn't actually have like a long chat before or after.
It's a social. It's a self-preservation thing. He thinks the longer he stays in social situations, the worse it's going to get for him, and he will be forced to reveal his true neurotic nature.
Yeah, I mean, I identify with that.
You do?
100%.
Do you really?
Yeah. I'm like nervous now.
I'm nervous now too.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's what it is that I always say something that I regret in social situations, right? So,
your fatty story is one of my favorite stories.
The casting director.
Yeah. Where I poked him with this. Yeah. So you know that story, yeah. So that's why I don't like talk to people in length, especially like him. I will because I don't give a fuck what he thinks, right? But when it's somebody, I mean, I love you, I really do. If you die, dude, it would be devastating.
Sure.
Does that feel good?
It feels better.
Yeah.
Better.
Right? If I don't. Yeah, it would be devastating.
Yeah, it would be devastating.
It would have been.
How about fuck not?
It would have been maybe back before the problem with my brother, but. But yeah, but do you? You don't want to be using?
I'm just gonna change. I'm taking this off.
It's warm,
toast.
right?
Oh, you're toasting, yeah.
It's pretty toasty in here. Yep.
Yeah.
Or he's flexing right now.
Yeah, take it off.
Yeah. All right, I'll take it.
Love for just watching him take his shirt off.
This is so weird.
Oh, he's gonna take it.
Now it's weird.
All that.
I'm all tucked in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that was gonna be the same shirt.
Don't be a creep.
I'm not being creepy. That wasn't sexual. What I just did.
Oh my
I just said,
God,
oh wow.
you're a
That's
creep.
all. Was that weird?
You did sit back a little bit though.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
Yeah. Well, check it out, man. It's pretty good.
And we're back.
Yeah, and we're back. Don't cut that out either, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that whole thing.
With slow motion.
Yeah. It was cute. Now listen. So when people text you, you don't text back right away?
No, I'm actually really good. I'm good with that kind of communication. I'm just not great in social situations. Yeah, even in groups especially. I mean, I think a little similar to you.
Yeah,
It's probably for the same reasons that you were just saying, but I mean, I don't know. It's just sort of social anxiety.
Right.
We're nervous wrecks.
Yeah.
And I have if you look at my hands now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I always appear like baseline cool, but I'm constantly dying on the inside.
Really?
So that's where him and I bond because of that. Because when he wants to bounce, I'm okay bouncing too. I'm not trying to stick around because I feel that same type of.
Yeah, I had an audition the
anxiety.
other day, and I was in the lobby, and the assistants of this casting director came out, and they go, "Oh, finally you show up, for once." Which is, I want to tell them the reason I don't show up because I'm going to eat it in there, right? Like that's what I want to say, but I give them hugs, and I walk in, and I just shut down. I told them, remember?
Yeah.
I was going to
For
kill
the
myself.
audition part, you shut down?
Oh yeah, they go, "Are you ready?" And I just don't know what the fuck. Like if I'm on a set, I know how to have the job. I know how to do it, right? Sometimes, man, in those rooms, it's the same feeling as I have at parties where it's just like I just shut the fuck down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
But how do you? I mean, you've obviously done it successfully a bunch of times to get the work that you have.
no, what it is that it's 1 out of every 3 times maybe. I'll like there's a couple where I would walk out and go, holy fuck, that was actually pretty good. Right, but that's rare. Usually,
I think you
that was a
actually
disaster.
perform better when he's a little underslept and his mind hasn't caught up to what's actually happening yet.
Yeah,
so the later on in the day that he auditions, the more he's thought about it, and that's when he fucks himself over.
Oh, I never thought of it
So
that
when
way.
when you don't have enough rest, you're sort of in survival mode. You're kind of just trying to get through it.
Yeah.
So you're not thinking about the tiny little details of it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's because, and this is going to sound really weird, every time I think I'm the best guy for this. Regardless of who's going against me, in my head, I'm like, yeah, but you have to show that, Bobby. And sometimes I don't show it, and I fucking destroy myself. You piece of shit. If you kill yourself, you should relapse, all that fucking shit. And I treat myself so poorly, you know? So it's like, so I do it there, but I do it also at parties. It's fucking
So you
weird.
have do you have performance anxiety? At all?
Not with, rock music and being on stage doing songs, but pretty much in any other context. Yeah, I mean, I always I settle in, but I tried some acting, and that was a really interesting experience because I was so nervous for the read. Just even the read when you're in the room with the actors.
Yeah.
And it's the worst if you're trying to act. If you're feeling anxious, everything is the worst. So especially just all those people and everyone's so natural reading the lines, and I really found that very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then we shot, and it was we did 14 takes, and fortunately for me, 13 takes there was a camera problem, or at least that's what they told me, or it was a really long shot where we had to go through a hallway, and the cameraman had to follow the actors, and so there was a lot of moving pieces to the scene.
Right.
So I got to do all these, I got to do 14 takes. And by the 14th one, I finally relaxed into the scene. And then I felt like, oh, that's what acting is. And that's really fun to just sort of be in that moment and free. And you're not thinking about what you're supposed to say or what they're supposed to say. You're just kind of doing, I don't know what it is, but it felt good.
Yeah. But that's
I imagine that might be the payoff you're talking about when you actually have.
When you do it, that's the payoff. But when you're auditioning, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
It's a competition to me.
Yeah.
Instead of being my mentality being, show them what you would do with it, right? I don't think that way. I think you have to win. When you have the job, I know that I learned from guys like Jamie Kennedy. He's he's an okay actor, but I remember I did a movie with Jamie Kennedy where he said one line 40 times in a row. And I go, what is that? He goes, I'm doing a run. So they'll just take whatever the best sounding one is. I go, wow, you can do that? He's like, yeah.
Wait, on camera acting it out, he just repeated the same line over and over?
Yeah, it's his coverage, right?
Yeah.
And he has maybe 1 or 2 lines. He'll do those 2 lines over and over. And then in editing, they just pick the best one, right? Yeah. But in an audition, you try it 1 time. Go ahead. Okay, thank you. And you're like, I don't get a try?
How long is the scene usually when you do that?
Oh, man. Some of them are pages long. In fact, for Stranger Things, because I didn't know it was Stranger Things because it was a different title.
Yeah.
And I didn't think I was going to get it. And it was so long that I'm like, I'm not going to get this. So and then they were like, we like him.
I think I taped for that.
Oh, really?
I think I did. I mean, I don't know if the same part, but I taped for an episode of that.
Was it for a school teacher?
No.
For Asian school
No, I
teacher?
think when she's on the lam with that group of misfits,
Yeah.
they're in a factory somewhere. I think it was one of those.
yeah,
I think it was one
yeah.
of those dudes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you tape it on your own? You had to go to
I
a
taped
place?
it on. I was on tour. It was in a hotel room. I think RZA didn't help me with that one. RZA helped me with another one. Actually,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
RZA was
he filmed
helping you
it.
with self-tapes?
Yeah, he was in a hotel room on tour. I know. He's a good actor.
Yes,
Yeah, I know.
yes.
RZA is a good actor.
Very good.
But I also read somewhere where that's something that you've done, younger, when you were younger.
A buddy of mine wrote a script that was really cool, and then he wanted me to be in that film, and he had no budget, so we were going to do a teaser trailer where the idea. Yeah, can I get a tiny bit more juice on this?
Yeah.
I feel quiet.
Bobby's very
Give him
loud.
juice. Give him the juice, man.
He's got the juice.
All right.
So we shot a couple scenes that were then spliced together to make a trailer, and that was then supposed to be used to get funding for the feature, but that never happened. So I did the trailer. And
Yeah.
that was, I mean, I think the only like dialogue was a voiceover, or I was like on the phone, and there was no interacting with another person.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that is harder. Would that be harder to you to just like recite a monologue into a phone if you have nobody?
I would imagine that would be pretty hard.
I think that would be hard.
This is like my only experience with it. But
Yeah,
it
that
wasn't-
would be-
It wasn't easy. And then
Yeah.
I asked a really great actor actually for advice on that. Brady Corbett.
Oh, yeah.
Who's now a big director.
Yeah.
And his like advice was like to do nothing. You know, I kind of read it through, like just read it off the page to him. And he's like, yeah, just do that.
Yeah.
Just do nothing, which is easier said than done.
It's